Story. South African troops have landed in the northern province of Cabo Delgado in Mozambique to help fight insurgents there. This comes as South Africa is currently seemingly going through an attempted insurrection of its own. The Democratic Alliance has called on the Defence Minister to prioritize security in South Africa before meeting its international obligation. Well, for more on this, we're joined by author and media commentator Victor Kgomoeswana, also known to some as an Afro-optimist. He's very optimistic about this continent of ours. Victor, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time at this hour here on the Midday View. Just first up, a question I want to get out of the way. In your view, would you agree with the likes of the DA that instead of having contributed to the SADC standby force in northern Mozambique, after what we've seen happening here in the country, which we are told was an attempted insurrection, that South African soldiers should be deployed as part of the SADC mission?
No, I don't think you need one or the other. South Africa is a leading economy in the Southern African Development Community, SADC. It was part of the meeting in June and in April and in January that decided to send a standby force to Mozambique. But also because what happens in Mozambique has a lot of implications for the entire SADC region, including South Africa. Remember that Cabo Delgado region shares a border with Tanzania to the north, which is part of SADC as well. But it's very short-sighted and narrow-minded to believe that you either keep the peace at home or fulfill your regional obligations. We need both. I don't think in South Africa we need thousands and thousands of troops. We could have acted much earlier, I agree. Maybe the troops can help somewhere. But our problems are not just restricted to what's happening in South Africa. They also have to do with what is happening in SADC.
Yeah, and the military experts, when they presented a plan for northern Cabo Delgado province in Mozambique in April, as you said, they were proposing a force of almost 3,000 troops, and not all of them are from South Africa.
Already, which is embarrassing to SADC, you know that Rwanda sent 1,000 troops, and Rwanda is not a member of SADC. And SADC got a little upset, and I thought, why are they throwing their toys? Rwanda is a sovereign state that decided, because it's got a bilateral relationship with Mozambique, but also because Mozambique shares a border with Tanzania, Tanzania shares a border with Rwanda. So what happens in Cabo Delgado can spill over to Mozambique and eventually spill over into Rwanda. That would be the rationale for sending the 1,000 troops. But I like the fact that a non-SADC member jumped the start and sent troops, 1,000 troops out of the 1,000. So already 35% or so, 33% and a third of the required force was supplied by Rwanda. A small country, I might add, which should have been an embarrassment for SADC.
Yeah, and just as the SADC force was being put together, and I think the South African soldiers, according to reports, landed in Cabo Delgado's city of Pemba on Monday. Already the Rwandan on the ground were involved in a firefight against the insurgents, and reports coming out of northern Mozambique saying about 30 insurgents were reportedly killed. So the Rwandans got in and got into the action immediately, while SADC has been having meetings and summits for months and months.
Yeah, we like to workshop. It shows you exactly, even last week, Dan, what could have happened with the looting, that if we had acted a lot sooner, the damage could have been running into half of what, or even a quarter of what eventually it came to. So it's exactly that, workshopping, holding sessions, calling each other your excellencies, this, your excellency, that. When the insurgents are killing people, they are disrupting investments, they are destroying infrastructure that's been put up there in the name of goodness knows what.
Yeah, and the processes seem to take long because SADC had to sign the authority, the instruments to authorize, and Mozambique had to approve. Meanwhile, you have hundreds of thousands of Mozambicans who've been displaced by this insurgency since 2017, and many more have been killed. I mean, hundreds others have been killed, and villages and towns have been attacked and businesses destroyed. So in your view, it was about time that finally the boots under the SADC banner on the ground in Cabo Delgado this week, and South Africa is firmly involved. I understand the commander of the SADC standby force is a South African officer.
Yes, and you need South Africa to take the lead. But I'm just glad that they know now that if they don't act and get and put their act together, countries like Rwanda will take over. And remember what it means that Rwanda got there ahead of SADC. It means if there are any investment opportunities for the future, Rwanda is already favorably positioned because they managed to prove that they are able to act when they are called upon to. We're not talking about killing people here. We're talking about neutralizing the insurgents, because the insurgents want all kinds of things. But the way they are going about it is almost the way we have seen Al-Shabaab act everywhere. They are called what I think Ansar al-Sunnah. They say the way Islam is practiced in Mozambique is veered from the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. Now, I never believe that any war is about religion. War is economics, is about money, is about somebody getting paid, is about somebody disrupting another's economic plans. So I'm glad that, yes, South Africa is leading the force, but I'm glad that there are other countries that are showing that if you don't act, we are happy to get in and steal the march on you.
Thank you very much for your insights as usual. Victor Kgomoeswana, we're just talking about the fact that finally the SADC standby force is on the ground in northern Mozambique since Monday on the back of the Rwanda deploying about 1,000 troops recently there to assist the Mozambican fight against the local insurgency there. And a South African is commanding the SADC standby force. He thinks it's about time. It is the right thing to do. South Africa has a lot to benefit as well from a stable neighboring Mozambique. Stay with